Hey, it's us, PixelWankers, and today we're doing a special Pixel bit on the trailer that just came out, Batman vs. Superman.
Indeed.
Holy shit, what'd you guys think?
Well, we just covered this in a recent podcast talking about how every trailer seems to give everything away.
Uh-huh.
And that is definitely a symptom of this trailer.
Oh, everything away and more. There was no teasing anymore. This was full frontal. I want to date you. You can tell because I'm hard. That's all it was.
Yeah. It was weird because, like, I want to like it. Like,
Sure.
I enjoyed Man of Steel. And I watched the trailer, and then I watched it again, and then I watched it again, and, like, I just didn't know how I felt. Like, there were elements of it that I absolutely loved.
Sure.
And then there were elements that I just hated. Like,
What did you hate?
Lex Luthor, for one. And I think Ian in The Office said it best. He's like, if that was the Riddler, it'd be cool. And I'm like, holy shit, he would be a great Riddler. Like, That would be so good.
You kind of shrugged at that. What do you think?
I don't mind him being the Lex Luthor.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that I am sort of nervous about, just overall, is they're cramming so much into this film.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, it's a 3 hour. Like, you can already tell it's gonna be 3 hours, but like there's so much going on, and I've read that there's like that Senator's a villain, like Batman, Superman, like, and now Doomsday, and it's just like, Jesus, give it a rest. Just focus on one. It'll make such a nicer, rounder story if you just focus on the one thing.
Yeah. Well, they should have just retitled it like Rise of the Justice League, right?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't make any sense. It would have been amazing to have the previous trailer be the only thing out and going to the movies and then having Wonder Woman come in, and I'd be like, oh my God, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Awesome surprise, but now it's like, oh, thanks, guys.
There is something that we are kind of like breezing over. It's the fact that it is called Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so keep the. I hate the subtitle, but keep it. Mm-hmm. But I understand why BVS is in there. It's because that is the crowd pleaser. That's the two names that people recognize the most. The household names. Mm-hmm. That's going to draw the millions to watch this film. I don't know. I was skeptical from day one. I was like, oh, I don't know if this is going to work, because they were ripping off Dark Knight Returns a lot and sort of mishmashing it into like this weird amalgamation. And like, I don't think they have the material to just, you consider the first film Man of Steel, and all of a sudden, film 2, he's now beating up Batman. And so we've got an intro Batman, because you see his origin story in one of the trailers as well. So we've got to intro him. Mm-hmm. We have to intro Wonder Woman. We have to intro Lex Luthor. Like, that's half the film already. Yeah. It's... Yeah. I don't know. I'm really nervous, because again, like, on a technical standpoint as well, like, the CG looks that sort of overly CG'd, super quick, whippy sort of like animation. So it's kind of unbelievable when you see Batman zipping around or jumping and that. It looks kind of like...
I disagree with that one. I think that it looks pretty spot on.
It didn't feel real.
Yeah.
When he was flying from... It will be... I can't remember what he was standing on, but before the thing exploded and he zips off screen, that was like... Oh,
it's
I really
rough,
like
dude.
that shot.
Really?
I don't know why. The one thing...
You like it because... Okay, like, I bet you like it because of A, the composition and the lighting.
Probably.
And B, because it's Batman doing his zip line thing.
Maybe.
But I think, like... Just, I guess because we're sort of animation snobs, but, like... Just the way he moves, he just sort of doesn't move naturally, and it looks like CG.
Well, Ian said that it got tightened up. He was saying how much better it looks now than it did.
The jump where he jumps and hits him through the skylight looks a lot better.
No, he was talking about the one where like he's like up against the corner of the building, and then he does like the turn and like shoots his string gun and like
Yeah.
goes that way,
Mhm.
and then Superman's like blast hits the building.
Mhm.
He
That's
says
the one
that
he
looks better now.
Yeah, he says it looks a lot.
I didn't think it did.
Uh,
I think it looks darker. I think they've just darkened the screen
I
just to hide a
honestly,
lot of
when
the...
he was saying that, I was like, I didn't notice the change. It still looks cool.
Yeah.
To me.
Uh-huh.
The only thing that I thought looked kind of shoddy was Zod. Zod doesn't look like he's finished like at all.
Yeah.
So, still, I mean, the movie's 6 months away.
Are you sure it's not just the actor, like, with makeup on?
The actor doesn't look finished.
No, I don't think.
Michael Shannon's
Oh,
also
sorry,
there.
sorry, not Zod. Zod. Doomsday.
Oh, Doomsday,
Because Doomsday is Zod.
Yeah, you
we
can
haven't
tell
talked about
from
that
that,
yet.
yeah.
But
And we'll talk about that.
yeah, so I mean, and it goes into what we were talking about, how everything's given away like so intensely. Like it straight shows Lex Luthor waving him in, and you see the cart coming in, and they unzip it, and then he's like, "If man won't kill God, then the devil will."
Mhm.
And it's like literally just like, "Hey, I'm going."
And then
to
you see a whole
retool
bunch of
Zod."
needles and shit and, like, electricity, and then all of a sudden he bursts out of a building.
Yeah,
It's like, oh,
and that's
okay.
a really confusing scene because like for some reason the scale seems like it's massive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like I almost thought it was like a tentacle monster when I first.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it looks like it's coming through a portal or something. And
Yeah, it's weird, right?
Yeah.
But and then we've also got, and I don't read most DC stuff aside from like Batman, so I don't know what the hell they were. But you've got like those flying
Those
alien
flying things.
They
That's
look like
odd.
the alien from the second episode 2 of Star Wars.
Oh,
Did you
Yeah,
notice
yeah,
this?
yeah.
Like,
I thought they were just ripping off Avengers.
yeah, it's weird, man. Like,
That's odd because, like I was saying, you take a screenshot of that, you take a screenshot of Doomsday, you take a screenshot of the all three of them at the end, and you take a screenshot of Batman vs Superman. You're like, this is all the same film.
Mhm.
Are we going to get to all this? Like, this is a huge
Yeah.
amount of stuff. Like all that desert stuff
yeah,
looks like a sort of middle act sort of stuff.
yeah.
But like, what is with that alien race doing in there? Like picking, and it looks like he's fighting Nazis as well. If you pause it, so that's kind of odd.
It's just they completely skipped introducing everything. This should be, of course, like the Avengers film, but they skipped all the films before that to let us know what the hell's going on.
Yeah, they're not welding.
No.
They're not like sort of like creating this believable universe per se. They're just. It does feel like they're relying on fan base.
Oh
to
yeah,
sort
they're
of
saying
get
you
people
guys
through.
know who Wonder Woman
Yeah.
is. You guys know who Batman
And if you
is.
don't, Google it, and
Yeah.
it'll show you. Like they're sort of relying on that sort of technique. I think.
It's kind of funny though, because nobody wants a new Spider-Man introduction. Nobody wants to see Batman reintroduced,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and so they're actually sidestepping it. But now we're on the other side where they are sidestepping it, and we're not happy about it.
Well,
But they're not, because in the other trailer they've still got that Batman origin thing
Yeah,
with the
I bet
dolls
you
and
that's
everything.
like a 5 second, like it might be an introduction thing where like you're watching like the opening credits and it just kind of like shows it.
Yeah,
and I could
which
be
is-
wrong, but we'll see.
Well, fair enough. In fact, I'm glad that they would do it that way. I mean, the Incredible Hulk film,
Mhm.
the second one with Ed Norton, they do his origin story, but they do it over the credits.
Yeah,
And that's a great way of just sort of being like, okay, well, here we are, catching up to speed. Okay, now let's go.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
the Hulk. You guys all know what
Yeah.
happened. Like, yeah,
So, but I don't know. I'm really hesitant because I don't get a good vibe off this.
Yeah.
And then that end shot, like I get that it's probably edited differently because, like, all three of them are like resisting the blast, and then it cuts to Batman and Superman, and they're standing next to each other, which doesn't make any sense.
well, no,
So
because
it's two
Batman's
different things.
in the Batmobile when the blast goes off.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
And she shields him, and then the blast still like destroys the city, but that little shield is protecting all of Batman and his car, which could explode.
Yeah. But like just having her just crop up just seems sort of like, well, let's dig this crowbar in and just ram another reference in. You know, it's just
Yeah.
sort of like, I don't know. I wasn't impressed.
So all in all, I think they gave away way too much,
Yeah.
and what they gave away, I wasn't super impressed by it. I'm probably gonna see it anyways because I want to,
Yeah.
but I'm not super stoked on it.
Yeah, I'll see it opening night. I think that it's Batman, and Batman to me is the number one superhero
Yeah,
of all time.
Batfleck
But,
looks amazing.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I'm so excited for Ben Affleck's
Yeah.
Batman.
yeah, the fact that he's writing like the movie right now
Yeah.
like, makes me really happy because I think once we get like a standalone Batman with him,
Mhm.
it's gonna be awesome. Like we were talking about it, like the verbal sparring between Clark and him.
Oh,
Is
it's on point.
awesome.
It's so good.
Yeah.
But like
And then
like
Lex
when the
Luthor.
action kicks off. No, not even Lex. Like, just when the action kicks off, I think it just sort of
I
lets
think
it down.
Lex is where it starts, like, it gives you the first, like, what the fuck? Because he's just too, like, quirky and, like, yeah, I get it. Like, he's supposed to seem like that smart, awkward guy,
Yeah.
but that's not Lex. Like, Lex
I
is
know,
like a
but
master of industry.
they've already
Lex is
sort
this
of-
super genius. Like,
But if you're looking for an accurate recreation of the comics, it isn't here. They've already butchered a lot. Like,
no, but
the
you
material.
should still get some, like, I'm not looking for, like, a, hey, this is going to match up with everything. But what I'm looking for is, like, the heart of the character being translated into the film. And that does not look or seem like the Lex Luthor that we know.
Yeah.
Or even remotely, like, if you were to say, who is this guy? And you don't say his name, and you see some of his scenes, you'd be like,
No
I have
idea.
no idea. You might guess.
Ian
anyway.
may be right that he will be bald by the end of that film.
Oh yeah,
He will.
I think there's already been production.
Yeah,
sets
there's
of
been a
him.
picture
really?
of him with
Okay.
a big head.
And I've even heard like Carrie Kelly's in it, which is the girl Robin from.
Yeah,
Done it
and
again.
I've heard that she's played by Gina Malone.
And it's like,
Or Jenna Malone.
what? Like, are we sticking to one thing, or are we just like just throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks?
I think
That's how I feel.
It's
Like,
part of the problem because what they're doing is they're introducing Batman when he's like kind of late in his career and
Yeah.
drawing from the Dark Knight stuff, like you said. You know, I mean, if you look at it, Ben Affleck's Gray, and it shows the Robin suit where Tim Drake got killed, and there's rumors that he's the Joker. Not Tim Drake, sorry, Jason Todd. And it seems like they're doing this thing where it's like, we've got all this history and we may tell you about it, but it's like, that's a lot. Like,
Yeah, it's a lot,
Like if you were
yeah.
to do Batman first and you imply all that history and then you drag him into that, I think it's okay. But you're going to be learning so much about this rendition of Batman
Yeah.
that it's going to be really heavy. And like, we still haven't seen Superman be a great guy. Like, be Superman. I thought that after the end of Man of Steel, when he kills Zod, he's going to start transitioning into, look, I just need to be a hero. Like, I need to be that. But it still seems like it's continuing with this dark tone
yeah.
that I thought was going to be the hero discovery thing. Like yes, have it dark when he's, like, figuring out the hero he wants to be, and then have him start to be this beacon. But it just looks like it's more dark, so...
Here's my sort of real quick final thoughts. They're going for the dark and gritty because Chris Nolan's Batman was so popular.
Yeah.
It doesn't quite work with Justice League characters because they are kind of cartoony and just, you know, outlandish and alien looking. So there's that, and also like this feels rushed because they're trying to cash in on the Avengers' success.
Yeah.
They're really churning this out way before its time. Like
They're playing
they
catch up.
yeah, they should do what the event, like what Marvel's doing, is just establishing films, then combine them all together. And they're sort of trying to be like, well, let's cut the middleman and just get them all together. And it's like, well, no, because Joe Schmo doesn't know who this is from this guy, and you know.
Yeah, well, and even if they do, like, you have to set up the rules that you're going to play with within that world, and then
Yeah.
if you build these characters up, then you're going to care when Wonder Woman shows up because you've already got this like connection to Wonder Woman. You're like, this is awesome, but
So I got a quick rating system for the new Pixel Bits.
Okay.
Pixel Perfect, a load of old wank, or somewhere in between. For the trailer itself,
oh, okay,
A lot of a wank.
load of old wank. Yeah, I'm the same way.
it's somewhere in between. I don't think it's because a load of all wank is like just pure shit.
Well, okay, yeah.
I really wasn't stoked on it.
Yeah.
Really?
I was
But
stoked.
but is it pure shit?
No, it had some good
But see,
stuff.
so it's got to be somewhere in between. That rating system's
Fine,
broken.
Jesus Christ.
I will go with somewhere in between just because of Batflick. I think he's gonna sort of pull the film up by its socks. Like he's gonna sort of keep it.
Oh yeah, he's
keep
gonna help it a lot.
mediocre.
He's gonna help it a lot.
Everything else, I think, is a load of old wank.
Okay, I agree.
Because I don't want to give it pixel perfect, but I'm also
No,
not
no.
as bummed onto this.
Well, maybe I'll work on the rating system for next time.
Yeah, it's somewhere in between.
Cool.
Cool.
If you agree, let us know. If you disagree, let us know, and
Yep.
we'll be there in the comments.
Cool.
All right, thanks for listening.
See ya.
Bye.